Sudoeste Rap. Antalon Avril Anone Secondo Anti-Tujet Tiskimof. Working out Serend Vastil Antitumacchar. Tatitis Actualigo Introg Sudoeste Oni Secondi Astil On Secondi Astil Antitumacchar Soldis. Go introgando e got de sound go introgai or just triinto makishar WhatsApp ninger because you have a copy of things that is not actually go introger sudoeste o just triinto makishar what we got say is good. Antes is going over for the graphics and we got this other part. Anota-se de sudoeste o eri just trinto makishar a felting status actually happening. Sudoeste o eri trinto jet veriting upin on minute but we want to come everyone to King James Bible University Precept Mastery and Judean o eri going to be going through the Paleo Hebraico lettering. To eri we can note differences and it was instructed and it is all. Carriot in Tatiwai and there is on its structure event Tatiwai and Judean will be going through Camille eri going to Camille immediate. Anoteronically do avita in Miami no chavi avitini but we actually going to say we will be able to go through also go through the next on is. Delete but I want to make sure that we so we go through you understand what it is talking about we want to. Understand what it means and it actually works out because manipulate. Go through these things and go through these wordings and sit down until you something completely different than what is actually spoken scripture antes isso era iramento este problem as. Because the money team is sightings and those things is actually not true sudoeste o payfully so we go through and we. Say so much things that we say and we make sure what is happening people should be able to get what is happening and what's going through and consider start saying a lot of different these words so we go through till we know exactly what is being said so we want to get started we want to make sure that you have your paper and your pencils ready and make sure that you can take your notes and everything we're going to do some stuff in the back and we're going to make sure that you and every person understand what is going on sudoeste we're going to get started and so is getting ready to we're going to switch it is over and we're going to go over to actually and it didn't do it only second that's what is happening only second that's what is happening. This program only second this program it don't want to. Transition Força me reason from Eles sudoeste astigmione secondary. Tu you can get it strong because it still just hold not is looking onto the program for some reason. And it is not that was pretty crazy on it that language. Didn't make no sense sudoeste e habitat set but what you want to do you want to start in area going to look at. Camille and we're going to start there we're going to find out what is happening in sudoeste if you turn to your Bibles and you look. At Camille it is in Psalm 119 and we start at verse 17 and we're gonna say what's happening. Eles sudoeste let's look at it and we're going to say what is actually what is out as we go through. Because Camille we're going to find out what it actually means as we go through it and say what it actually what is out because in verse 17 it starts what it says the all bountifully with servant that I may live and keep thy word in Camille. Is actually talking about talking about bountifully that's minding we go to look at you and all. Dealing with Camille it is not talking about anything else but what you say starting and we got a thing about what is going on. Eles sudoeste Camille we're looking at what's happening it says the all bountifully with servant. That I may live and keep thy word sudoeste we seeking the same thing. In many of us we seeking where you wanting to the all if us bountifully the same as we do if is done the same. We do with many other things we wanting to the all if us bountifully in a bountifully wise sudoeste the same we seeking wisdom bountifully on so we can look understand what is going on there the same thing with you seek. Wisdom sparingly or going to help wisdom spiritually the same if you going to seek wisdom bountifully or going to help. Wisdom according to that word and you're going to help it bountifully saying the same thing there is no difference in fact we're going to look at we're going to go over here to Psalm actually we're going to look at 13 and since we got it over here we're going to look at 13:6. 13:6 and we're going to say some of that there it says I will sing unto the Spirit of God but read there we know what that actually means when talking about saying so it is saying I will confess unto the Spirit of God so what you're going to confess because you have the out bountifully with me exactly point sudoeste it existe recompensa it existe reward existe wages for what you have rendered what you have done sudoeste once you go out there and you labor and you save things bountifully you're going to happy bountifully you're going to touch your recommends that is a recompense to you want harder work more it actually goes both ways if you happy are you happy good are you happy bad. Because if you doing bad if you seeking things bad you're going to happy those bad things bountifully same thing in fact we look at Psalm 42 and we're gonna look at verse 7 it says bring my soul out of prison. That I may praise it in amity with shall compass me. For to shout the all bountifully with me it is exactly the point. Because if the all bad or good thing we're going to happen and it is going to come out not as we thought that we should. It's not going to come out till I will look for it. We do it good or we do it bad. We're going to break. We're going to happy recompense for that. Sudoeste we have to make sure when we're seeking something going seeking it and we're going to do it bountifully or we're going to do it sparingly. It is what's saying we're going to go down and we're going to look at another part of it. Because minding is all spirits can be overwhelmed with temptations and nares and all referations be mostig. We only deal with us and if is going to deal with us we wanting to deal with us bountifully with that knowledge. That's one of the keys in verse 18 it says open on my so we want to understanding to be clearly understood. And it says open on my ears that I may remember wondrous things. Out of Tilot that's what we want that's what we see at Sudoeste if spiritually blinded. And we seeking God it is in and it's for him to help people Eles. But telling us some things right here we somehow wonder all things out of that law and we still want to glitch a few things there. And I'll say these things it says I may remember wondrous things out of Tilot is one of the keys Eles do Oeste when we're doing this we want to make sure that we see these wondrous things and sometimes what we doing many times when we're looking for the things that must have done. Most of us don't really pay attention to the things that have done. Because it's going to deal with us bountifully and wondrously. Let's look at some of this. Let's look at some of this part and then we're going to have a conversation. We're gonna go to Revelations chapter 1 chapter 15. We're going to pick it apart verse 1. And it says I saw another sign even great including marvelous wondrous evangels 27. Last plagues for is filled with wrath. With the wrath of God. It's telling us hitch up from there telling us hitch up from there what are you dealing with Sudoeste. What is this telling us as a whole Sudoeste the same thing is it talking about wonderful plagues of the wrath of God. Wonderful things as the wrath of God. These are wondrous things and these are marvelous things Sudoeste when we're looking at to remember his. Wondrous things out of the law skepticism mean we have to remember these things which the promise the law is what Adam wish. You will be fulfilled and you will keep this in mind keep that always in mind when it's interesting yes. Going to fulfill what side is going is promising you I'm going to fulfill everything that I said and if I am gonna do it even that I'm going to fulfill it Sudoeste you want Timothy to deal with us bountifully and with scientists word. To where you can deal with us according to that why not do it the other way just let's get a little bit. Moreira and get some understanding in Deuteronomy chapter 28 sites and Gimel charts was going to appear going to look at 28 we're going to look at 40 verse 46 and the sites I am going to include that also I want to include that also. Sudoeste the same thing in verse 46. You say right here it says and they shall be for upon for a signal for a wonder. And that say forever but no matter what's happening we have. Things bountifully with a view is telling you we're gonna be a signal to all people telling us that and we're gonna be. I wonder remember those wondrous works those things out of his law is side we're going to be. Just all people and look at this in another way you can look out as I said before you can go anywhere. Parts of the country anywhere and opposite terrains and where it's not like that in certain places. You can go anywhere in the United States anywhere in the United States. Guess what you're going to say all of us? In the same position no matter where you go I don't care where you go you can go from country to country place to place. And you're gonna say as well in the same position. That time I behold and remember to wondrous works out of that Loi side if you do something that you don't suppose it to be doing is going to make us a sign for a wonder and it is going to be a sign upon us. Forever. But you don't want to work with us that you don't want to work with us according to teachings is going to do all of the law. We wanted to do things all of the promise. Let's look at this a little bit closer and we're going to look at verse 59. 59 says this. 59 says this says that the Spirit of God make the plagues wonderful. Wonders including the plagues that I seven great plagues. In of long continents of sorry sicknesses for a long and a lot of long continents continuance. Think about that all the law is saying this is what is going to do because the law was not made for a. Então we made an agreement with him of a covenant to esse and saying. Behold wondrous things we have plagues right now that cannot be alleged plagues right now they cannot be alleged. And says marvelous things going to happen 7 years having 7 last plagues for fulfilled the wrath of God. Estelingus is hitch up from but we want into the hour if was bountifully of that servant that we may. Live as what is saying that we might touch I may live is what we seeking we want to live. This is what a problem always be with a lot of things because what we really do we're going to have do some things we're going to have do. And we have some of the most important things on and the ideal if us wondrously with this. All of us today we don't know what is going on. We don't remember what is going on in fact let's look at something I want to show you something that Psalm 78 I'm going to show you something over real kick just something just source for us to remember Psalm 78 we're going to look at verse 51 and I'll say something and this says. And Motio the firstborn in Egypt chief interstrent in the tabernacles of him. Diva wondrous inter. Showed him his strength to ask to understand size of the law spoke it and told him what you was going to do and they follow a trouble it but we want into the bountifully with us that we might live. Come here e even added to your prayer Lord too. With me Camillas I keep that word so you saying you want think to the all if you bountifully. And give more understanding to help you to live até tanto dia. You can lay what first board for that in fact another look at this and you look at Psalm 106. You say it is in Psalm 106. And we go down to verse 7. Will say some of his other things didn't want to click here as I want me to do this every time and I am not going to do that every time. Okay, let me say. There you go, it says all factors understood not to unders in Egypt remember not to multitude of times but provoked. In at this even at the head said like I said a lot of us you don't. All you want is everything happy and you can forget things so you can forget. Te desires of what God is so we can forget all these things as soon as something godly happened to us first thing we do is. Oh, it is going on, it is happening with it is happen. For this simple fact you clearly didn't take seriously the first time Sudoeste ideal if so wonderfully watch. Of that law I may be all on those things out of that law all you want to do is remember those things you don't want to experience those things. And many of us experience those things and not keep it in remembrance. Stat like I remember those things I can read about it but you would get Sudoeste less than we're going to end up experiencing the same thing. We're going to experience then let's drop down and we're going to look at verse 9. Verse 90 says this. E says rebucket heads also including which was the Sudoeste led ten trot depths. As trot otherness but goes on more and saved ten front and fin. Tacha teden and redeunt in front and of enemites are tinger. E goes on in the water covered enemy stereo as not one of them left. Not only but we can't remember that we do you keep teasing or in. Or persist for 1 minute and then move it on we go on about it Camille will sit terian will sit. Terian let things happen we're going to do evil things and then we're going to deal with his good Gimel is going to deal with his bounty if we doing evil bountifully we're going to reap evil bountifully and we want to under we want to under we. Let's look at something we want to get a better understanding on what is going on it says and what's so bad about this. We sit there and we become part of it say because we say we are his servants. But we will insight that it says I am a stranger in there is most people tell you dare not. Most people tell you dare not. No most people I may stranger really or stranger but do everything that the people do that's do everything that's custom of the people whatever they do that's custom it is what you do not to commandments from me. With that I may live. I want you to do not to commandments from you so you can deal bountifully with me. In doing good. This is a problem, this is a big problem that is and we're not advancing it. Many of us going to continually do everything contrary and we have to stop that. We have to really stop what we are doing. If you say that you truly are a stranger in this world then look interrogando saying you that should be appeared to use a stranging or a thing that you should not be one of engaging. It should be something you only want to do. Bútimos avasso ontitu cititerian ceiam astrangerintis languario astrangerintis land veritintatis intis land maquixarior parte ofit descenting avent broad tisupina willigurili yugot definif piopli. Pusing citei avitis romantis mon inteiro offices presidente and vice-presidente tibigesti pustat alot of peopli strentu puxa intinais reparations big pushback fortat alot of your. So called tese o blacum leaders te onti chukal tem teresa big pushortat. And people believe that going to get reparations for what. Say didn't put shoes in this position sudoeste e control that out oferido antitintat sumimento overtu. Jerusalem and fricable tese places and grabei bunch of people that called not do anything abroad tem bakelitatis not the truth. Not no near the truth. We was conquering we was brought because you was put for land not be man be God. Sudoeste eri because you was disobedient to the ortho but no eris tinterite fel is tinterio bon man. And bon woman we didn't do all these things no sudoeste no you want to be compensated. For what or for the fathers working but the work that they did no you want to be compensated for that. And the same thing is que why you can object to the other side of where you'll be against God. If you get compensated. Because you want to remember your sins to where you don't do it no more but right now we have so many people want to be compensated for it and promise you a lot of people if they was giving outside when you tell you lot we going to do we're going to give you $20,000 let's go 50,000. We're gonna get $50,000 to a very black person or what they wanna call African American is stupid in itself we're gonna give every one of them $50,000. $50,000 and you get a check in the mail $50,000. No Detroit is become yours are you going to cash it? Are you going to tear it up? Are you going to cash it or were you gonna tear it up? Say because if you cash it I don't care. Or you look at it or you flip it or you script it or you try to rationalize it you read or you try to reason it out your heart telling God you has put a very wrongful soul. And no you being compensated because God was so wrong for what did covenant. Sleep upon. You my God tiliar and not you. That's why I said I hope they do the reparations. Because it can help I'm going to just out money people because the money people still no matter what they're going to say well I really need it God understands okay God understands God understood say woman why those 7 children. You understood they was being put to death one by one.
Put to death, one by one.
But you don't think that you are better and the first thing is well you understand that you need this. Okay. Many people going to sit there and notice a word they want to catch it and they do what they want to do but one person say it and the one where it counts is the one who side you cast it because no matter what. It's meaning. O eu e sentite to me akashidile. Interesting. Bem nothing commandments from East entendidas things to elites o setup. Ready to go to those good or those everyone you saying or estrangeirentis. Lands do Oeste te minding ele going to look at stis and a lot of tis to fis dealing with loving or dealing with. Hot letters of the Bible intimacy or going to deal with a lot of law and we look at Leviticus chapter 25 and we go to verse 23. And it says the land shall not be sudoeste forever for the land is mine. For ye are strangers and sojourners with me. We are strangers and sojourners with God. It is land that's his. That is his soul what are you planning on doing what are you going to do? Say through God works. We do God deal with us as servants many of us are going to deal with God sparingly we are going to do things sparingly. We are going to do just a few things what we need to do but sparingly so whatever we do if you do sparingly. You are going to reap sparingly. You are going to sparingly cite as things you are going to sparingly do things and once you sparingly do all these things at the end you get to win and the first thing we are going to do is think that we have seen it to we should be in kingdom after we are done all this at a full. Things all these things we thought you were doing that was hit sudoeste you need to look at that. And we're going to look at Matthew chapter 7 verse 22. Antes isso what money are going to do money you want to cite is because money you say to me in that the Lord. Have not we proposed into I have not we done it as things have not we proposed into I. Really. We don't propose saying you need to give this you need to get this mine you need to give days of your earnings you need to do these things you need to build these churches. We didn't propose that this church that you decide to build this church you propose that. Lord. And into I have cast out the views in that way. Take away erro vem Jesus te devil. Think about it. They cast out the views publicity and you is what we go to church state you didn't cast out it. The view they do exorcism casting out the views out of people you go on YouTube no you go to man talking. About the proposite have people coming interacting sudoeste fully it is real tetroing what they don't like they. They scoring and opposite in shock like they did something. A sem act and publicity tere like man. That person that they agony la disse okay about se a sexo ifa. Wifa devil she having sex with a devil and it is constantly going through and every time it is going. Trog descentim tatius sei even laterius sei descentim later. Tatis goingon. Indefist tintat ou eu aindointis ariemedointat. Aindointis ariemedointat lord e avicast alt devius soit sas including indainamente. While evidoni mani wonderful looks but it is a question mark you know it was question mark. We built churches. We told you plitene to give des of their earnings to you but you don't know where you are sudoest we. Bui what if and what I need to buy I need a new suite to where I can continue to can shop to the church. To look you no look presentable sudoeste I go with these suites in use to get the suite stat my cost. Under couple under books but no I get suite stay cost a few thousand. Use to pay a couple of $100 for shows no pay for show start cost a couple of thousand. Because I work for God I use to drive a regular car but no I. Drive a again like shuricar I bought it with the stat people give. Base no Uruguai. Tis isso what you do. Andigona replete was tem e professento tem. I never knew you. Just think you can ever coming from just I want you to just think about that you don't want to if know you. Read ter you don't you know that moment is there and you sit there thinking and size. I never knew you depart from me work nikiti material. That's just thing anyone can are. Because it is not where you going out of his seed and you coming back to like our like this you are not coming back to our like this. Where you can sit there and say well if I am living in a place like I am living no it is not bad you know I have to deal with something interest something that but we can get you know I can manage no you in the lack of fear. Eternal damnation. That is burning. Eternal damnation and it don't stop. It just continues it is not so it just continues and you have your reacting on your flesh. For the rest of your life.
Wow.
Go bem you side need your mind gallants too. Gente 10. God told me to tell you I want to build this building. Many of us is going to go to that place and so on you get there Lord. Where I never knew you Lord I don't decide don't know you depart from me work. In Kiti Sudoeste if you want into the if us bountifully that we my life. We need to understand what his laws and understand that things that are estrangeiros sudoeste if you hear. Estrangeiro are you trying to get the things that is Tis isso atil e do tesiare tinsu e seio e comento tio orni novi diferente tins. Infact inverse 20 it sais ignote ti commandments from isso do est e do anti tented biden. From us because you want to live to case hitter you want to live. Sudoeste iftatis de truve. Mas sobre aquele forte longíntate aí renta-te judigmente a ultimes. Sudoeste é longingate chatunto ti doctrines ante achings. A ultimes. A ultimes an sudoeste e show de longing e longinte e longing força fim e longintati de noite. His commandments from suido until antitate e longintati. We may live and keep his word it tells us right here we want to keep his word. Tesiare tinsu e longing for sudoeste e sei mostavasso we want to sit there eu e ficangivius tisto I want tat no do do tat what you want is his word you want to be longing for his word you want to be longing for his doctrines and his teachings want to be longing for tat don't any of his commandments from you. And long as you can remember his wonders works on at divine put those plagues wonderfully. Ontos e bades. Sudoeste ou so should be broken longing for God's precepts tis is what's talking about time. We can say it as things in scripture notice it in territory into tell you all you can say it is what ere. Going to look at it is why no I might show it to you to ere we can look at it ere going to go hit down hit up size 119 ere going to look at verse 40. It says remember. Hit teri remember I have longed. Ti long I have long after ti precepts. Tis is what we should be longing for. Tis is what we should be longing for I have longed for ti precepts que can me ti righteousness. Because if you can me in my righteousness I may live and keep thy word. Ting out of ti lot judigmente a ultimes otis stereofites hide. Tribute we avido long for his precepts peoplius I well know you don't have to te acha according to precepts, really. When I was shot I to get on to go inside for the hardness of your heart Moses surot you tis precept Moses surot you tis precept size that out of his mouth. But we should long for precepts and let think Kingston Eric and all if us righteously on the kikemiente. Righteousness. It's not hard to understand easy we long for those right things. Kikemiente righteousness do est I may lie to keep thy words do est I can know those wondrous things out. Of that Lloyd not from me to commandments from me the all if me in the middle. That I look know you doctrines and actions are ultimes no matter where I may you know. You law. It's not charge it is not correct but we seeking his precepts were seeking something else. We are seeking something else we seeking more than what that is because you don't. Doante vertin corpeo policiai justi do it justil e doante no e do init for a razão everybody seeking God for a razão. Ambem o seeking for the hid razons and most peoplicity terinoid ast like to do hit tats stupidest thing in the world for somebody to say stupidest thing in the world for some news I ast like to do hit no tats not we already do init tats not we already do init I'm gonna show you we already do init and most peoplicide that will trat saying to what to do okay and actually I don't know we did that. Let me try to get back there again because I jump over it. Let me say if it occupied there for that I'm gonna try to auditing on a little spot because I jump start and if not I just read it it's. Jumper again but we want psas 119.174 we want psas 119. 174 tatis the one wanted just keep jumping in psas 119.174 size this I have long fateri salvation only spirit of God till is my delight. That is what they're saying psas 119.174. I have longe for te salvation. I want to live I don't want to be in the world of the nation I don't need to be there. Through God's doctrines in all his teachings I want in abundance that I can deal with Southwest can always deal with me accordingly. And according to his word is how I want to deal with me this is what a lot of people be seeking. There is only evangelium to that you inherit to tell you in verse 21 e to as rebuquete prod that ariguse de rebuquete prod. But we did do that sim you have ten you te ashe no te gist te sit teria intergive escrituria tente want to choose. Escrituras to fit what te ash. But the going to make Sharok and will use this fish okay and what about it is verbal are going to tell you lot we going to use this verse to and on top of that we going to use this fish to need to do this and you need to be doing that is not precepts. So you have used it biblically to fluence people for mine use it to gain power use it to gain fame. And you're going to pay for those but the Bible is clear when you look at 1 Timothy because it says he rebukes pro. He rebukes ten and we say it is in 1 Timothy chapter 6. And it tells you. If nenhuma te acho ter and consent not to the host to lesome words event words of all creator of. Salvation via no integrante doctrines which is according to godliness. You are going to get rebuked if you sit under that you are going to get rebuked under that. And it tells you more about that it says is proud knowing nothing but doubting about questions and strife words where you coming in this strife rallies view submergence this is what people go through upset because you teaching according to godliness and this it and sign that is not godliness what I'm saying is godliness you need to give your mind you need to do these things to where you can get salvation and if you don't do these things and you don't come to this church you don't do these things and where it only shows that is going to happen at this time Southwest if you doing this and you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing then you're not going to happen. Is proud because he knows saying is the one who carries away to salvation is proud obting about questions and strife and words we have committing this strife ralliant ver submersions. Teres noter white lucatit defu of corruption and veriting elsiter perverse disputing amen if corrupt minds. Destitute of destitute of truth meaning truth if truth was hereditary if tem truth or biten hanawai. Te destitute of truth supposing that garnis godliness. Kain from sujeitral self from sujeitral itself. Ui. Tati mein live and keep tati word. Ui. Ui because I rebucate prod. Ano if you going to happy bountifully for tisking of case doctrine you are going to happy the same recompense. For it. You are going to happy the same recompense for it. Sudoeste it is why I side it is sudoeste importante what you do and makishar what we doing we hold to what we makishar we got to do in life because we don't want these things to happen to us you don't want those things to happen to you don't want those things to wear you in pigeting in all these problems and vingot isso so it says tis and it tells you in verse 22 it says tis and what nuclear it says remove from me reproach in contempt but reproach I want to tell you what te reproach is it says for I have kept my testimonies but there is only reproach you want reproach remove because it is talking about some humiliating disgrace what people will do to you but you don't worry about what people say you worry about what say. Let's look at something we're gonna go to First Peter chapter 4 I want you to just look at something First Peter 4:14. This one I want you to say something says this it says providing be reproached for the name of Christ happy or remove from me to reproach don't want to be reproached to God it is that doing that because it says if you be reproached for the name of Christ happy for the spirit of glory and of God stay upon one their part as even spoken of but on your part is glorified. See what is going on here. E vem o sacred look at verse 19. Remove from me reproach in contempt I am estrangerontis. E atintis e artui because that's what that is they gonna look at you like Orion alien treat you like you something's wrong. With you. Shame ye do all this feel against you will haven't did anything wrong but if you be reproached for the name of Christian decrasiesting of this anti-crasiesting is every time people you talk about Christians they have Christians Mormons Christian Methodist Baptist Protestantes o Catholic they have all these people and all think all we phone not but so on suscite you follow Christian and you sit there and start talking about the Bible. And open the Bible and you start to intend precepts in the Bible they want to know accord you are in a cult. You excuse me you he in a cult no I'm not in a cult I was just talking about God shouldn't we have God. Word in front of us or are you quieting your better thousand I didn't say anything before I am saying with he. Going to speak about God let's have the word of God from of us also you think is better those I never say that. These are things we go through these are things you are going to experience as you go through these words. Something you say is a prince you say prince also does sit and back against me. But te servante didn't meditate on te statues ensinamentos de princes. They don't speak against you. O ineito stei focastande ortofo ab ineito meditation tat derison ineito meditation tatiwi, if you got bejetin suaitingonil. E o rei about tem colini o somfenel suneito meditation destatui sui. Because you astrin shulivan de kiptati word. Suiuneito meditation tisuneito tincabot tistis e suiuensit in the back of. Chiclas and say me a pontis to fia point all the time. Sui meditation it will go out there we want to say otis is made bocas made otis is made and the light polesu as made. And you all not even take the timidity stray sprang up from a sage fruit.
Fruit.
Commentats a simple question. Sudoeste you need to take the time and start meditating on things and the same as the testimonies are also my delight. In my counselor's thesiotis meditation should be tati meditation. Everything should be tati we should be meditating on his statutes actually let's put his up let's go over here too. Psalm 119. Let's look at it all together to say where you need to be meditating on Psalm 119 because many of you just look at it Bíblia get the word and move on about business it is not about that 119 we're going to look at verse 16. It's as I will delight those delight myself in the statutes I will not forget that word to me because I want to live and I want you to deal with me bountifully did you keep your word. I want my cup to overflowing down with me. Because in your word is my counselor, your word is my counselor. Tis is with my delight is my counselor. Seu counselor should be all those books in the Bible that should be your counselor in fact. Let's look at 147. Let's look at 47. And says even better it says I will delight myself in the commandments which I have loved. We say what is going on it is things we need to meditate on these things which are your counselors. Sudoeste these are your counselors we say into literal his precepts sudoeste that will speak to us and not. Someone else well I think it is better that you do it this way and you do it that way okay. You let the Bible be your counselor. He removed the reproach from you got remember people gonna sit there and what they want to say but you're stranger in this art. But you wanting to deal with bountifully so you can help bountifully so you want to work bountifully to web. You can receive bountifully but if you work sparingly you're going to help sparingly. Camille. Sudoeste perfully just if it is on here you will understand a little bit more on what is happening here. And they put there forgive me all this forgot they have so many different things for this word it is unreal but that's always talking about. You want to be dealt with a certain way when you're dealing with God bountifully with the servant that mind even keep thy word pen to my understanding that I may remember to understand out of the law I am a stranger in the earth ignorant commandments from my sobriquet for longing and have until per doctrines and the actions are ultimis to as rebukete prod. In percurso is do erete front commandments removed from me reproach contempt for I have kept. Ti testimonis principal sudus sit and peac against me but ti servante do meditate in mai. Statutes testimoniesare mai also my delight including. My counselors I do testing stat I may live I do testing so you. And if me in a bountifully I tesiare teaching stat you in it understand and never forget. That was chameleon and be picking to upon next to it understand what is more so what you are going to do if daily. Wishisti moreno te ave tinti toga I believe te ave te I'm talking about it is real at te do. Tent do I'm telling you can't do this. Ter you can't do this. You cannot do anything to this so what you are going to do going to in it. And we're going to go on and we're going to go to Tibak and we're going to go say the other. Passion and we say is only escalator self-tell folk is coming back because you have people like to tweet to teach. In the comment section status so it was removed until let people teach in the comment section eu cite ter you fail you have acknowledged coming back. Sudoeste e comeback ter e shine 99 often do not so what you are going to do going to. And it you can go through it and if you look down in the description I'll say a meeting you'll say a link for the Zoom. And you can click to where you can come into Tibacare to where you are going to finish up everything else and that tell folk. We'll be looking for because we have a lot of people like to teach in comment sections and those are basically. People that just teach in comic sections and just go around as if they through around knowledge and actually have none. Sudoeste if that you are going to and we're going to see you guys on tomorrow we'll be picking up on the book of Romans and be going through that Sudoeste until then I say to and very person shalom. Do. Sudoeste.